Welcome. We're so glad you're here. My name is Barclay Smith. I am the director of the Chicken Salad Chick Foundation, and we are just thrilled that you took time out of your morning to be with us. Thank you. We want to go ahead and get started. There may be some people trickling in, and that's perfectly fine. We have some really exciting news to share today, but first I want to introduce you to the Chicken Salad Chick Foundation Board of Directors, those that we have with us here today. Dr. Fred Cam, Cassie Boyd, Lolly Steiner, Russell Balch, Misty Hudson, Scott DeVinny. We also have Erlen McWhorter, Betty McWhorter, Kevin Brown, and Stacy Brown. And today we're missing Dr. Larry Witt and Rodney Gibson. That is our board of directors, and they have worked very hard to get us to the point where we are today. So I'll introduce the panel as we go along. First, I'll introduce Mr. Kevin Brown. Kevin is the founder and the president of the board of directors of the Chicken Salad Chick Foundation. He's going to get us started, and then at the end we'll have time for question and answers for a brief period. Whoa, sorry.
Let me get hooked up here. All right. I'll echo Barclay's sentiments and thank you for those of you that are here that are members of the media. We certainly appreciate you making time in your day to come out and cover this, what we feel is an extremely exciting and important day for the Chicken Salad Chick Foundation, for this community, this school, and many lives to hopefully be impacted for months and years to come. I stand before you today in the fight for my life, battling stage 4 colon cancer with liver metastases. But the battle that I wage is a battle that is waged by hundreds of thousands of folks across the globe. And you are here today in anticipation of a grand announcement, and as the invitation read, to be part of history. Big dreams, high hopes, and tremendous impact. That's an informal creed that has become the rallying cry for the Chicken Salad Chick Foundation over the last 16 months or so. A dream, hope, and impact are all three ingredients that help shape the vision and the mission to support fighting cancer and feeding the hungry. And those are the two initiatives that are near and dear to the Chicken Salad Chick Foundation. Forming a charitable organization was always a vision that Stacy and I shared shortly after we opened the first Chicken Salad Chick restaurant back in 2008. The struggle that we faced was to pinpoint the cause or causes to support. There were so many worthy causes, short on funding and needy of support. It made the decision almost paralyzing. Following my diagnosis back in November of 2013, Stacy and I knew that it was time to get things rolling with our foundation. All of a sudden, our causes to support were pretty crystal clear. To support finding a cure for cancer in local cancer treatment centers was an easy decision. To support hunger insecurity fit well with our thriving restaurant concept, Chicken Salad Chick. And both of these initiatives require substantial funding, and both impact so many lives in our area and around the world. So the Chicken Salad Chick Foundation was born in June of last year, of 2014, just 16 short months ago. So today we gather for historic and exciting news from our young foundation that will forever change the landscape for the Chicken Salad Chick Foundation. And as Barclay mentioned, over the last 16 months or so, our team has been hard at work in efforts to bring an event to Auburn that will be a first, and that will provide the opportunity to raise substantial funding for these two worthy initiatives. It gives me a great deal of satisfaction and excitement, encouragement, and hope to stand before you today to announce the inaugural Music and Miracles Superfest benefit concert, which will be held here on the campus of Auburn University in storied Jordan-Hare Stadium. This will be the first concert that has ever been held here at Jordan-Hare, and the word Superfest was carefully chosen. And it best describes this event that will be held here April 23rd of 2016. When the decision was made to pursue this event, in a bit of a selfish way, I knew there was but one name that we wanted to invite to headline this event. And we were humbled that shortly after we extended the invitation to Kenny Chesney, that he gladly accepted our invitation. So he is extremely excited to be the first artist to play here at Jordan-Hare, and was blown away that this would be a concert to support the initiatives of a charitable foundation like Chicken Salad Chick Foundation. I think it goes without saying that he is one of the hottest, biggest, baddest, most iconic singers and entertainers of our time. He's the modern day Jimmy Buffett, if you will. So we are in for a real show here on April 23rd of next year. But the news gets better, and as you can see by our poster here, it's a little bit blocked by some shadows, but what a night we have lined up. Not only do we get Kenny Chesney, but we also get the CMA Female Vocalist of the Year and Album of the Year award winner, Miss Miranda Lambert. And yes, there's still more. We also get on that same stage, that same night, the 2015 CMA New Artist of the Year nominee, Mr. Sam Hunt. He is also nominated for Single of the Year and Song of the Year. And as most of our younger, our college age fans will agree, he is the hottest thing since sliced bread right now. I will make one comment. The hat that he's wearing in this photo is not Georgia. It is Gorilla Glue or Gorilla Tape or something along those lines. So wanted to make sure that was loud and clear. We were a bit shocked when we saw it initially. So needless to say, we are over the moon excited about this event, and obviously to put on and pull off this type of event, it takes an army. It's been a true educational process over the last 16 months to get to where we are today, but I did want to take just a minute to thank some of the folks that have been so instrumental in helping us put Music and Miracles Superfest on the map. Barclay has mentioned the names of our Chicken Salad Chick Foundation Board of Directors, and I think it is important enough to say their names again and thank them. But Erlen and Betty McQuarter, and I want to say a special thanks to Erlen. Some of you know that I've had some humps and bumps along the way with my medical treatment lately, and I've spent more nights than I care to in the East Alabama Medical Center. And Erlen has been very instrumental in taking what I was supposed to be doing while I was in the hospital and pushing that across the goal line. So thank you, Erlen, for the time you spent to make this, to get us to where we are today. Scott Devaney, who is also the new CEO for Chicken Salad Chick and Simply Southern Restaurant Group. Kim Evans, which you'll hear from here in just a minute. Russell Balch, Lolly Steiner, Dr. Fred Cam, Misty Hudson, Cassie Boyd, Dr. Larry Witt. And I also want to thank Barclay Smith. She is a one-woman foundation. We have one employee, so she gets the lion's share of all the work that my crazy brain thinks up sometimes. So she puts in hours and reads my text messages, whether they come at 8 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning. So thank you, Barclay, for the work that you've done. You'll also hear in just a minute or two from Mr. Stuart Dill, who is the co-creator and our Nashville liaison, if you will. But Stuart, when our dream was only just a dream some 16 months ago, Stuart was the one on the other end of the phone that got to hear what our vision was, and it was met with a resounding, wow, this is a big dream, and you got a lot of hurdles to cross before you get to the finish line. And I asked him one simple question. I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being this is a shoo-in, this is going to happen, and 10 being I'm as crazy as I could be to ever think this is going to happen, where are we? He said, you're about a 15. I said, well, my goal is, and I can't wait for the day that you tell me we're at a 10. And we're here. And finally, let me thank the countless folks at Auburn University that's helped us get to where we are today, that will also continue to support this effort. Obviously, this is just an announcement. There's a ton of work that still has to be done over the next 7 months to execute this at a world-class level. And like I said, it takes an army. So first, Jay Jacobs, our athletic director here at Auburn University. Thank you, Jay, for seeing the vision and giving us the opportunity to push that forward. David Benedict, who is the COO of athletics. David is probably tired of reading emails from me and seeing me, but he's worked hand in hand with both myself and with Erlen to make this deal happen. Ward Swift, who is the CMO of athletics. Ward has been there anytime we've needed him with any of our crazy questions on the marketing side. Jeff Still, the Associate AD of Facilities. Obviously, this is a huge undertaking to put on a concert. It's not in the normal scope of what Jordan Hare typically does. They're great at doing football games. This is a little bit of a curveball. So Jeff and his team have been great to accept this challenge, and we look forward to continuing to work with his team. Jeremy Roberts and his team. Jeremy is the Associate AD of Operational Support Services. Met with his team a couple days ago. What a great team they are, and they're excited to pull this thing off, and we will have some intimate relationships with that group here over the next 7 months. So thank you all. John Wagner, Auburn University Council. Obviously, there's agreements that have to be signed when you do this type of deal, and thanks to John for making sure all the I's were dotted and the T's were crossed, and we can do this, pull this thing off without a hitch. And I am certain, I'm always scared to start singling out names when I do this, but I thought it was incumbent upon me to do so. I am certain that I've left somebody out by name, and if I have, please accept my apologies. If you spend 5 minutes on this, or you spend the next 7 months working with us, it is equally important to us what you do to execute this. So we thank you. We're excited. We hope you're excited. This is going to impact this community, this university, the Chicken Salad Chick Foundation, and hopefully through the funding that this will raise, we will be able to impact lives across this globe for years to come. So with that, I want to introduce to you today Ms. Kim Evans. Kim has served as the Auburn University women's golf coach for the last 21 years. This year is her first year not serving in that role, and she currently serves as the special assistant to the vice president of student affairs. And she also, as you have heard, serves as a member of our board of directors with the Chicken Salad Chick Foundation. And most importantly, to me at least, Kim is a cancer survivor. She has now been in remission for 23 months, and we have been so blessed for her to serve on our board, to have somebody that is fighting this battle, has fought this battle, that understands what goes on in the life of a cancer patient and survivor, is instrumental in us to be able to channel the funds to the right folks, to the right organizations, and the right support mechanisms. So, Kim, welcome to the stage.
Great job.
Thank you.
Get this off, dude.
Yep. Don't let me take your notes.
I don't have any notes. That would be homework. And I'm sorry, that is a G. That's the wrong G to me. I still walk in this room and just go crazy. I've forgotten what I was going to say because I'm still in awe of our Letterman's Lounge. It's beautiful. But I'm honored to be here today to represent the Chicken Salad Chick Foundation. And it was the summer of 2014, and Erlen and Betty asked me to be a part of this foundation. And when they started explaining the mission, I only had to hear 4 words: eliminate cancer and end hunger. I was in. You know, and I do several food charities in our community, but as Kevin mentioned, I'm a 23-month survivor of ovarian cancer. And there is no doubt that it is a continuous fight. It's a fight that goes on every day. Auburn is special. I had so much success as a coach here, but I had huge success so far winning the fight against cancer. That's been my biggest achievement, and I did it because of the love and support of the Auburn people. I can honestly say that. This is big. I'm so proud of this event because this is big time impact. This is cutting edge. This is Auburn University. This is Auburn athletics. To do what Kevin came up with and to pull off what they're about to pull off, I don't know. I'm going to be in the stands singing. But this is cutting edge, and this is what makes me so proud to be a part of this foundation and so proud to be a part of Auburn University. It's cutting edge for music. It's cutting edge for our student body to have fun, the Auburn family. It's cutting edge for hope. Because what's going to come out of this is a lot of immediate impact, and it's hope for a miracle. So as we all go out and fight whatever fight it is, just know this is going to bring a lot of fun and a huge immediate impact. And now I can say War Country Eagle. But thank you for this time and your support.
And now it's my pleasure to introduce to you Stuart Dill, who is the co-creator of Music and Miracles Superfest. And Kevin mentioned owns Dill Management Group in Nashville, Tennessee. And I've known him since I was about 10 years old, maybe younger, 4 years old.
Thank you. Yeah, a word on that, a word of personal privilege. Barkley and I grew up together. Our fathers were both ministers at the same church in Mobile, Alabama, Offenway United Methodist Church. My father is here, my mother is here, Reverend Steve Dill, Ruth Dill, my wife, Madal. So we grew up in Alabama, we grew up in Mobile. I've lived in Nashville for 30 years, having the real privilege to be able to work in the music industry and work with some amazing talent. But in a lot of ways, being here on campus and being in Alabama is like a big family reunion, and I just keep getting more and more family members with the foundation and Kevin and Stacy and all that's here. I want to tell you a little bit more behind the scenes, particularly about that conversation when I told Kevin he was hitting 15 out of a scale of 1 to 10. Let me tell you the rest of how that went down. Barkley called me a year ago. Believe it or not, this conversation is a year old and a year's worth of work. It was last July or August, I think it was August, and said, we've started the foundation, we want to use music to have some impact, and Kevin Brown wants to talk to you about how we might do this. So that conversation did happen over the phone. He called me and he said, very frankly, as you all know Kevin can do, why has there not been a concert at Jordan-Hare Stadium? I went, well, I heard you were a big thinker. As I said, that was a big idea. That's a 15. Probably a couple of reasons right off the bat from my perspective in Nashville. You have to have the complete community involved, from the president of the university, from the athletic director down. It's a hard thing to do, to have the support of a community. You don't just walk in and play a stadium like Jordan-Hare. Most of the concerts that play at this scale play at NFL stadiums. It's an easier process on a lot of different levels, partly because they don't have to deal with some of the community needs that are needed to be met. So those communities don't get together and they don't talk. So it's a hard thing to do on that level. The other is it's a big underwriting. It's a big financial underwriting, and somebody has to take that piece of the puzzle when we have to figure out the math part of all of this, and that's not an easy task. So, and the third part on the level that you're talking is you're dealing with Atlanta. It takes the Atlanta market away from these major tours, and that's not a market that they want to give up. So there are 3 reasons why that's not going to happen easily. And that was the 15 conversation. Right when I said that, Kevin, who we had not met in person yet, said, well, once you get to know me, you're going to realize when I get the idea in my head, I can become pretty impatient. And I went, okay, fine. And we hung up. A month later, in October, he called back and said, hey, Stuart, I wanted to tell you, I have a partner, Betty McWhorter. We have the support of Auburn University. and the foundation will underwrite this thing. And I really didn't know what to think. My jaw hit the ground, and I said, if that's true, and I have no reason to believe that's not true, but that's hard to do in a month, I better come down and revisit about this on person to person, eyeball to eyeball. So I came here and had an amazing welcome. Met the first trip, met with David Benedict and Erlen and Kevin and got to know each other. And really, literally, that was the other conversation when he said, who could play it? Who's the talent that could put in enough seats to fill 55,000 plus in a stadium like this? And I said, there's not many. There's probably a handful, and I'm about to give him the litany of who might could do this, and he said, Kenny Chesney's my guy. So, well, there's a list of one. Let's see how we do with that. So I came back to Nashville and called Clint Hyam, who's Kenny's manager and a friend, and even though I know these folks, this is not easy stuff. I literally was sitting with my wife at dinner, and I said, I'm just going to text him instead of just call him and just kind of do a soft entry. And I texted him, I said, it looks like Jordan Hare may be in play. That's all I wrote. And I put my cell phone down at dinner. And I thought, I don't even know what's going to hit me back. The phone rang immediately, and he said, hey, Stuart, we hadn't talked in a while. I just got your text. Is this true? And I went, yes, this is true. And he said, well, I'm telling you, if I call Kenny and this is not true, we got a problem. Because once he gets an idea in his head, he becomes really impatient. And I said, I think I know the same guy. So from that moment on, I knew we were off to the races. Kenny wanted to do this. When I went ahead and told him more about the cause and the mission behind this, and told the whole team, Louis Messina, who was his concert promoter, and Clint and Kenny, they were all in. They were all in from day one. Literally, as we're negotiating this deal, I would from time to time get a call from Clint, and he would say, we got to close this because Kenny's just wearing me out. We have got to get this to happen. So it's going to happen. That brought us to January. Their team came down. We had a warm reception with Jay and Ward and David and Jeff, and it was, I knew then that we would be able to put this together. Still a lot of work to do to make it all happen, but it was going to happen. And then I saw Kenny in April. I told this story to Jay. Coach Bill Cowher is a friend and is in and out of Nashville some, and he was in town, and he wanted to see the Kenny concert, so I called Clint and said, hey, does Kenny want to see Bill Cowher, who happens to be in town, knowing that Kenny doesn't have time to see anybody on game days much, but he's also just a football freak. He is a SEC freak. He's a football fan to the nth degree, and the message came out, yes, Kenny wants to see Coach Bill Cowher. So we went down 10 minutes before his show, and the first thing out of Kenny's mouth was, are you going to Auburn? And thank God I had told Bill about the show because I wasn't even sure. All of us have been nervous to talk about it. And that's when Kenny said, well, it's going to be my first tour stop in 2016, which I didn't know that. I don't know if Clint, his manager, knew that. That was Kenny. So that's how we learned that bit of information. So it is official that the first tour stop in 2016 for Kenny, and then of course Kenny's work to bring in Miranda and Sam and the band Old Dominion. It will be the first tour stop in 2016, which is a remarkable thing. Not only will it be the first for Jordan Hare, the first for Kenny to be able to, the artist, to play here, but it will be his first tour stop, which I think is really appropriate. So the final thought, just the entertainment industry is watching us now. It's news on the agency side, the management side, the large brokers that play that role up in Nashville. They're all watching this for a couple of reasons. It's historic, but it's also historic because I can't think if ever, I haven't done the research to know for a fact, but I don't think that any concert of this scale has been a benefit concert to go to the charities of choice here. So it is very significant as a model. And without further ado, we have created the first video 30-second spot that we want to show you as I close my portion. And Celie Dennis needs to be, she's always in, excuse me, always in the background. Celie Dennis is in my office in Nashville, never gets any credit. Again, in the background. She's going to push the button, but thank you, Celie, for getting down here and making this happen. Thank you all.
AGMaster.com. Visit musicandmiracles.com for more info. Produced by Messina Touring Group, AEG Live, and Dill Management Group.
Okay, I think Stacy wants y'all. Yeah, that's what we want to see. That's right. So I think you've gotten a sense of the spirit of where this came from and where we're headed, and we're just so excited that y'all are here to be a part of it and to go along this journey with us. We at the Chicken Salad Chick Foundation are committed to making history on April the 23rd, 2016. So we've talked about how that's going to happen, but let's talk about the nitty-gritty of how we get tickets, right? I mean, let's go. Come on. All right, so tickets will go on sale to the general public on October the 2nd. They'll be sold through Ticketmaster. They will not be sold through the Auburn University ticket office. So everything will go through Ticketmaster and through our website, musicandmiracles.com. Okay, so any information you need there would be sponsorship information, which is a huge part of what we're doing here. We really want to make this impactful, and we will be seeking sponsors, a title sponsor, all the way down to what we're going to call our everyday angels. So anybody you know of who'd like to be involved on any level, please let us know. We have brochures in the back that you're welcome to take with you as you go. So check the website. There'll be information on tickets and parking, hospitality, suites, sponsorships, merchandise, and then of course the talent. We'll have information there as well. If you want to check us out on social media, is that up there? I can't see. The tags are on the screen. My kids are going to help me do that when I get home. So, they're all excited about figuring out what's going on because they don't even know. Once the stage is set in Jordan-Hare Stadium in April, we will look for a capacity crowd of 55,000. So we certainly hope that you'll plan to be a part of that. Again, we'll have questions at the end, so hold those until after we have one more person to speak. I'd like to say we appreciate the support of Auburn University, of Auburn, the mayors of Auburn and Opelika, Mayor Ham and Mayor Fuller. They couldn't be with us today, but they are fully in support of this and excited about the event. And Mayor Ham was at the CMA Fest whenever that was, so he's pretty pumped, I think. So we're glad to have them involved. And media, as you leave, you can grab a press release, but it will be in your inbox when you get back to your desk. So be on the lookout for that. Let me just introduce one last person who really is the reason we all are here, and the original reason. Miss Stacy Brown is the co-founder of the Chicken Salad Chick and a member of the board of the foundation, and she's going to close us out. Thank you so much.
Hi. Y'all, 8 years ago, chicken salad was being sold door to door out of a house. And today there are 40 Chicken Salad Chick restaurants operating, many, many more in development to be opened across the country. This brand is growing like wildfire. But the most important contribution to come from this concept is about to happen on April 23rd of 2016. I have to say that I stand in awe of my husband's ability to see through his diagnosis. It would have been perfectly acceptable for him to concentrate on his own needs during such a physical and emotional struggle, but he has not done that. He has put every bit of his energy into coordinating all that you see here today to give people in our community an experience like we have never seen. So at the same time, this is going to help save lives through a significant contribution to cancer research, support, and hunger initiatives. So it's thanks to the big dreams, the high hopes, and a tremendous impact that we are about to throw a celebration like this community has never seen. So anyway, thank you everyone for gathering to hear this exciting news, and we will see you in April. So excited.